All right, I'm gonna tap into today. I'm walking on a place called Clareville Conservation Area. Why are we so low? All right, there we go. I'll give you a quick rundown of the view, what I got going on here just before I keep going. Anyway, okay, so I'm gonna talk about how I can kind of remain so happy no matter what's really going on in my life. And it comes down to one thing, and I'm gonna tap into this, but I'll start off with it. It comes down to telling people what you want to feel, even when you may not feel it. What I mean by this is, say someone asks you how your day is going, or your morning's going. You woke up, you feel like shit. You woke up, you want to kill everyone. You went into work now, or whatever you're doing at school, and now you don't even want to be there. Now someone asks you how your day is, what happens? You rethink everything that you've been through. Kind of makes you pissed off, kind of makes you angry. And now you say, my day or morning has been crap. And now you feel like crap because you just relived the morning. What if you do this? Same thing happens, your morning has been terrible, that you don't even want to go to work, but you showed up anyway. Someone asks you how your day is, and you say, my morning has been absolutely phenomenal. And you genuinely say it with, even if in your head it's been terrible, because obviously it has, you say it's been phenomenal. What happens in that moment is you tell yourself that you are phenomenal, or you're good, or whatever, it doesn't matter. There's people walking around me, I don't care anymore, I'm just gonna record. They can think what they want. And so what happens is you actually change your mindset in that moment. And that's one of the most beautiful things about the control that you can have over your mind. I think I'm gonna go down the bridge actually. The control that you can have over your mind is crazy. We're just going to walk for a second. And we'll continue when these people walk past me. I'm wearing a weekend sweater, by the way. I don't know if I can get the back. Oh, I might be able to. Oh, I don't think I can show the back. That's okay. All right, so we're gonna go to the bridge. But yeah, basically what I'm trying to say is when you tell yourself and other people what you want to actually feel, you start feeling it. And that's one of the most amazing things that we as humans have the ability to do. I'm a very psychological person when I really speak about life and understanding what happiness really is, because ultimately it is. What goes on in here controls everything else in your life. I'll give people an example. So when I was at my lowest point, one of the things that I chose to do, and one of my lowest points was when I was like really convinced, I had like convinced myself that I was actually extremely lonely and I had no one, and there was no one in my life that I'll ever find, and I'm gonna be single for the rest of my life, and I'm gonna die alone. And if I could wake up the next morning and not wake up and just be dead, I would take that chance. I was genuinely believing all this stuff. What I did in that moment was say, you know what? I'm done. I am sick and tired of feeling like crap. And I'm just going to be happy. I remember the times when I was in grade 10, 11, 12. If you're in America, sophomore, all that shit. Basically, 9 is like when you start high school. I remember those days when I would be walking home and I was like on the king of the earth. I was the king of the earth. I was so happy. I was like unbelievably happy. I didn't care what nobody thought. I didn't care what nobody thinks. I just enjoyed my life every day. And I remember those moments. I said, what did I do differently when I was like that? And you know what I did? To be honest with you, nothing. The only thing that was different was that I actually enjoyed my own time. I'm gonna wipe off this camera. Oh, there's gonna be mosquitoes here. Hey, follow me. No, come on. There we go, okay. And what I did in that, so then I started to remember when I was at my lowest point around 2020, I said, you know what, I'm done. I don't care about getting a woman. I don't care about being lonely because I'm not. I got my mom, I got my brother, I got my family, I got everyone in my life. I'm just gonna enjoy life and do whatever the fuck I want. And that's exactly what I started doing. And in that moment, life changed fast too. And then I started going to concerts. I started doing more things. I started just not caring. I learned the art of texting because texting can be brutal on your mind. If you think that everyone else is just not liking you and ghosting you, that can be excruciating. Learn how to text. When someone doesn't respond in 3 days, who cares? Okay? Who cares? They're living their life. Move on. They'll probably message you the next day. I'm gonna sit down for a little bit. I hope I don't get destroyed by mosquitoes, but we're gonna see. And then I'll talk about a little bit about just how to really like chill, enjoy life. Oh no, I'm getting annihilated by mosquitoes. We're not doing that, we're going back. Fuck that. Okay, so now I'm gonna talk about how I remain happy and what I truly do to remain happy when I am at a low point in my life. And there has been one main one recently, but I actually did a very good job at remaining pretty positive throughout the whole thing. And that was my heartbreak, my breakup. I dated this person for about 1.5 years, and I have not said a single word about any of this to anyone except for like immediate people in my family and friends, because it's not going public about a breakup doesn't really help you. It just gives people a picture of what you're going through. If you have no one in your life, I can understand why, but most people have a friend or someone they can talk to in person that they can really talk about things with. This bug is just flying on my head. So when I went through my heartbreak, I was destroyed. I was not happy internally. I really, really was feeling pretty lonely. And I was really worried if I would ever connect with another human being like that again. And that's one of the biggest fears that many people don't talk about, is just how you feel lonely. And what have I been talking about this whole time? So in the moment, I felt like shit. I was kind of unhappy. I really felt pretty down. Let's get the scenery here. Oh, just have to walk up this huge hill. Oh, you can't really see it. This bug has been following me for minutes. Anyway, I know I just got off track there a little bit, but we're just gonna talk roughly about it. There we go. All right. Yeah, when I went through a heartbreak, I got really down. I got really sad, and what I started doing was I started just subtly clearing the things out that were making me feel really down about my life. And one of those things was pictures. We all have them. We all take them. Some people take more, some people take less. I myself take hundreds of thousands. Okay, not hundreds of thousands, tens of thousands. I would say I take about 10,000 photos and videos a year. That's a lot of photos and videos. So, and most of them are just about me. Most of them are about me. But obviously, when I was with my ex, I had a lot of photos and videos with her. So I started slowly putting them onto my computer. When you're going through a breakup, one of the worst things you can do is delete every photo you have of that person. The reason is when you are really distraught and you're missing the hell out of the person you used to love and all this stuff, you do not make well decisions. So most people, if they look back at a relationship, I think they would want to keep certain memories and get rid of others. And you can get rid of the photos you can really get rid of the photos sorry, my cousin just messaged me about my story post. I love my cousins. You can really, what was I even talking about? Yeah, so photos. Delete them if you want to, keep them if you don't. That's just the gist of it. I would recommend waiting a little bit because they're not going anywhere. And who the heck cares? But what I also want to talk about is, for me personally, I was really down. And I was really, really terrified about whether I'd be able to connect with another human being again. And people would ask me how I'm doing. And in the beginning, I was actually saying crap. I know I've been talking about how you really need to work on saying that you're okay and saying that you do actually feel good. Even if you don't, that's hard. Even for me, that was hard. I was going through a heartbreak. And then eventually I was just like, you know what? I'm great. I'm amazing. I'm phenomenal. And eventually I started actually believing that I was phenomenal, because that's how it works. What you tell yourself up here actually becomes what happens. Isn't that amazing? This place is wild, man. I love it. I'm gonna sit you guys down and I'm just gonna talk for a little bit. Actually, maybe I won't. Maybe I'll end the video. This is gonna be probably, I'm trying to make a ton of videos so that I can just post them all at the same time. And then eventually just post one that I really enjoy. And I'm actually gonna share it on my Instagram or Snapchat. If you have watched to the end of the video, I appreciate it. I have video talent. I should have been making videos years ago. I don't know why I haven't, but I am now, and that's what matters. I love you all. And life is to be lived happily. No matter what your work situation is, no matter how much lonely heartbreak you're having, if you tell yourself the opposite of it, even if it doesn't feel right, it will start happening and you will actually start feeling better. The brain naturally finds the easiest path of resistance, okay, when it comes to emotional trauma. And just emotional pathways, the easiest one is often the one you're gonna take. But people who make the hard decisions are the ones who really benefit in life, okay? Like me, I haven't really made many hard decisions. I'll turn on the light here. But what I have done is I have really spent a lot of my life learning and understanding how to stay positive. And I'm not kidding. I have dedicated years of my life to learning how to stay positive, even when I'm so down. And I've been down. I know on my stories and on even now, I say I'm happy. I am, of course, but there has been times where I'm not. And they don't normally last more than a couple weeks, but everyone is human, even me. And there has been times where I am not good. I feel like crap. I don't want to wake up. I don't want to die, but I don't want to wake up. And like I said before, that's kind of a bad mindset to have. It's all about mindset, people. You work on your mind, you can fix your life. And I'm not perfect. I've made mistakes, and I've made one recently when I went on that cruise. And you got to learn. When I went on the cruise of 2026, a lot of people have probably seen it on my Instagram, I made some pretty big mistakes. Why? Because I was on that cruise high and I didn't really care. But in reality, you need to care about those things because those are when it matters the most. I won't really tap into those mistakes, but they were big mistakes and they affected me. And ultimately, I'll go into this is what I'll finish off with. When you make a mistake, nobody else is fixing that mistake but you. If it's a mistake that you've been making recently, there's a mosquito on my brain. The only way it fixes is when you realize that it's a problem. Anyway, I love you all. Life is about living. Tell yourself you feel good, you will start to feel good. That's just how it works. Love you all.